भाई रे भगतहीन काहे जग आया, भगतहीन काहे जग आया भाई रे, भाई रे भगतहीन काहे जग आया। पूरे गुर की सेवना कीनी, पूरे गुर की सेवना कीनी, बिरथा जन्म गवाया, बिरथा जन्म गवाया भाई रे, भाई रे भगतहीन काहे जग आया भाई रे, भाई रे भगतहीन काहे जग आया। गुरमुख कृपा करे भगत की जय, बिन गुर भगत न होय। आपे आप मिलाए बूझ, ता निर्मल होवे सोय। हर जियो साचा साची बाणी, हर जियो साचा साची बाणी, शब्द मिलावा होई भाई रे, भाई रे भगतहीन काहे जग आया। पूरे गुर की सेवन कीनी, बिरथा जन्म गवाया भाई रे, भाई रे भगतहीन काहे जग आया। आपे जग जीवन सुख दाता, आपे बख्श मिलाए। जिया जंत ए क्या विचार, क्या को आँख सुना। गुरमुख आपे दे वड्याई, आपे सेव कराए भाई रे, भाई रे भगतहीन काहे जग आया। भाई रे, भाई रे भगतहीन काहे जग आया, जग आया। देख कुटुंब मोह लुभाना, चल दिया नाल न जाए। सतगुर सेव गुण निधान पाया, तिस दे कीम न पाए। हर प्रभ सखा मीत प्रभ मेरा, हर प्रभ सखा मीत प्रभ मेरा। अंते होए सखाए, अंते होए सखाए। भाई रे भगत हीन काहे जग आया। भाई रे अपने मन चित कहे कहाय, बिन गुर आप न जाए। हर जियो दाता भगत वचल है, कर कृपा मने वसाय। नानक शोभा सुरत दे, नानक शोभा सुरत दे। प्रभ आपे गुरमुख दे वड्याई। भाई रे भाई रे भाई रे भगत हीन काहे जग आया। भगत हीन काहे जग आया। In our last meeting, Gurbani had reminded us to create the connection. Let's go back a little bit. That Rahau of hymn 47 was Bhaire Gurbin Bhagat na hoye. Now why is that? What was that message? We have a tendency to take everything kind of least amount of investment and the maximum profit. This is the law we use in the outer world, and we apply the same thesis to the inner world. Can we not do something quickly? Isn't there a shortcut? Or do I have to go through this? Since you have gone through it, why don't you give me the benefit of it so that I don't have to repeat the process? And the inner journey is such that it does not allow that. There is no compromise. Truth either is or it is not. There is no half-truth. There can be a half-lie, but there is no half-truth. Because of this desire, because of this compulsion in us, can I not get there quickly? It has given birth to quite a few so-called saints, so-called spiritualists, so-called mystics, who promise you right up front, you do this, that will be the end result. And oh, by the way, if the end result is not that, then they will say, well, you are really not doing it sincerely. So as far as they are concerned, they are completely covered. They'll promise you whatever you want to hear. And if you go back for your money and say it didn't happen, you are still going to be at fault. So in last hymn, Gurbani alerted a seeker right in the beginning and say, if you do not find the true master, and you just take the hearsay and you learn from so-called pseudo-intellectuals, you may be doing a lot of rituals, but you would not be in the true meditational state. So you really need the true master. What is a true master? And Gurbani very clearly points out, Gur Jahaj Khevat Gur Gurbin Tarya Na Koe. The master is like a ship, and he's also the guide of that ship. He's also the captain of that ship. Gur Jahaj, ship, Kevat means the one who guides it. So now let us visualize a ship that stands in the middle of the ocean and say, I'll take you to the other side, but you have to come from that edge to this edge yourself. Which is what some of the masters do. I can show you the other, but I require you to have this level of intellect, this level of understanding, this level of whatever that requirement they put. That is equivalent to saying, I am going to stay in the middle of the ocean. It is your responsibility to travel that distance. We had a spiritualist, a mystic of that nature, very recently. We were only discussing about it on Sunday. That was the basic issue with Krishnamurti. He demanded a certain level of intellect before he could guide them through and have. Well, what is the requirement? The requirement of the intellect was, you better first know how to suspend all of your belief systems. You better know how to empty your mind out of memory completely so that you can hear what I am saying. If you are going to hear me through your existing intellect, then I am useless for you. He had a big problem with that. That's why he could not become the source of a new movement on the West, even though he stayed for almost 4 decades. But when the people will say, okay, I got you. I fully understand that I have to suspend my belief system. I have to erase all the memories. Now teach me how. And he'll get angry at that question. Genuine anger. Why? Because the person who's listening on the other side has not just understood. Why? Because he just said, drop all the memories. And as soon as I say you how means a process means a memory. I'm asking you to drop it, you're asking me to build it. What is going on with you? I just told you no more memory, and you're asking me to give you a memory again? How can I do that? And now the questioner is completely dumbfounded. What to do? His requirement was that you have to know by yourself first. That's like taking the boat away from the edge, one edge. He certainly knew the other edge, but he would not start from the edge. Well, there are other kinds also who will say, I'll take you from wherever you are and I'll take you as far as I know, but I don't know the end. I can get you started and I'll take you so far and then I leave you in the middle of the ocean, and that's basically it. Now you need to find someone else. I'm sorry. But they don't say that. They just say, I'll start you. And then when you reach a certain level and say, I have this difficulty, and say, well, I don't know what to do here now. Which is what the majority of those. Today's pseudo-intellectuals, pseudo-gurus are of the second category. They'll get you started because they know a little bit. But then they don't know what the difficulties are, they don't know what the difficulties, how to solve them, and they leave you in the middle, and you, instead of building consciousness and building faith, you actually get anti. And Gurbani says, no. Look for the Guru who can touch this end and also know the other end. When you know that, when the Guru is like a staircase, this first stair is touching the ground. No conditions. It is 0 level. And it doesn't stop in the middle. It takes you to the top. Once you go to the top, you can take the ladder and the stair and throw it away. But it also knows the bottom and also is touching the top. When you get that, now you are on the true meditational path. Without that, you'll be lost one way or the other. That was the message of hymn 7. That's the Rahao. Bhai re, gur bin bhagat na hoye, bin gur bhagat na paye, je loche sab koye. You can desire as much as you want. You can struggle as much as you want. But with the pseudo-intellectuals, with the self-made gurus and saints and swamis, it just won't work. So now, the question is, how do you find such one? And the Gurbani gave the test. He said, don't look at him or her. Look at you. Look at the process that is being given to you. Look at the method that's being given to you. Is that method helping you to manage your basic difficulties? The agitation of the mind, the attachment of the mind, the arrogance of the mind. Is it helping you to manage it? If it is, you are getting closer to it. And if it immediately tells you, see how good I am, and you also feel, oh yeah, my God, you gave me this medicine and I am already running like a... So both arrogance playing. The Guru saying, look how good my medicine is, and the seeker saying, yep, I am also feeling it. Both eyes talking. So if you are alert and conscientious, you will find immediately whether you are in the right place or not. Don't look for anybody else. Don't ask for the testimonials from others. Hey, did to me this, how about you? Don't compare. Gurbani says, Hukam razai chalna nanak likhya na. That test is inside you. That hukum is inside you. Every soul has that thing imprinted the day this body appeared on the physical dimension. It's already there. So ask yourself, be your own judge. Buddha used to say, be a light unto thyself. What does that mean? Stop analyzing others. Very easy to do. So, you can find the right one, and it is an easy test. And yet the mind-body system keeps on saying, I'm still looking. I haven't found it. And I can't do anything anyway. I'm too busy. What should we do with the rest of the life? And the hymn 48 asks that fundamental question. Its Rahav is Bhaire Bhagataheen Kahe Jag Aya. It's a rhetorical question. Means what? He says, the purpose of the human form, have you understood why it is so? That's a fundamental question. The purpose of human form. Now compare your form with every other form in the creation. And then see, are you different than the rest of the creation? If you are, then ask the next question, why am I different? What should I do with this difference? And you will get the answer to the question, Bhai re bhagataheen kahe jage aaya. If you are not going to find the time for that devotional purpose, for that meditational purpose, then you have not understood the purpose of the human body form. Because if you compare yourself to a dog, to a cat, to a bull, to a cow, to a tiger, to a lizard, to a sparrow, to a crow, to a pig, you will find that whatever your life routine today is also their life routine. So then you could have come as another bird or another animal or another plant rather than as a human body form. Because human body form has one added dimension, which is bhakti. And if you are without, bhagataheen means without it. If you are without the meditational processes part of your life, then you are not different. That means you have wasted the carnation. You have wasted this particular birth. Bhai re bhagataheen kahe jage aaya, pure gur ki sevana kini birtha janma gavaya. Pure gur, that's what we were defining in the beginning. That's the complete master. Who's the complete master? Who is giving you the medicine that will get the management of the basic stumbling blocks onto the path of spirituality. And what is the save for that? Save or save doesn't mean you take your master and say, well, let me today press your legs and let me give you a good massage today, or let me wash you or shave you or take care of your body. That's not seva. Why? Because seva only deals with the outer world. And this whole thing is dealing with the inner world. So, if you are going to serve the master who is a non-physical entity, then Gurbani says, Har ki tehal kamavani japiye prabh ka naam. If you are going to serve the God, tehal kamavani means to do the service. Har means Hari, Guru. Har ki tehal kamavani japiye prabh ka naam. That's basically it. And he says, Gurbani says, Bhai re, without the bhakti, the life form is, if you have not done the bhakti, pure guru ki sev na kini, which is bhakti, birtha janam gavaya. Birtha means wasteful. You have wasted this life opportunity. Because if you had heard the hymn 47 and taken the message from there, you would have started with Gurmukh Kirpa Karey Bhagat ki jai bin gur bhagat na hoyi. See how the link is? The 47 again said Bhai re gur bin bhagat na hoy. And that stanza starts here. Gurmukh Kirpa Karey Bhagat ki jai bin gur bhagat na hoyi. Gurmukh Kirpa Karey. The word that comes through the mukh means the mouth, gur. Gurmukh. Through the Guru, that word, His grace has given you that word, you use that to do the bhakti. Without that, it will be ritualism. Ben gur bhagat na hoy. Without that, nothing can be called bhakti. They can be called ritual. Now, what's wrong with rituals? Nothing is wrong with ritual. Absolutely, rituals are not condemned. They are being clarified. If you want ritual, then you get the society saying, oh, you're great. Tirath, tap, daya, dat, dan, je ko pave, tilka maan. Now, these are all the ritual. Tirtha dajana, tirtha snan, tirath, and then tap, tapasya, daya, dat, dan, datta vaya dan. When you do these things, what happens is Jeko Pave Tilka Man. Tilka Man is a proverb which Til literally means the sesame seed. But Tilka Man means a little bit of fraction of it. What? The world will say, oh, you are great. That's it. If that is what your aim of life is, that the world should say, oh, you're great, then fine. Continue. But that's not why you are given the human body form. Because people say that dog is very good. He's very obedient. He's very smart. This horse is very strong. This poodle is very beautiful. All those comments and compliments are available to the plants and the birds and the bees and the animals. People keep fish tanks in their home just because those little fish floating around, they look very good. That is not the purpose of human life, to just get a few compliments from the rest of the world. So it says, you are wasting the life. Had you done that, understood that previous message, you would have started on the meditational path, and the meditational path is what? Ape aap milaye bujhe. So these are not mysteries. These are not unsolvable issues. These are just small riddles. Bujhe, bujharat, riddle. All you need to do was sit down with the one who has understood it, and you get the explanation, solve that particular puzzle, and then move on. And move on to what? Ta nirmal hove soi. Cleanse yourself from within. निर्मल होवे. हर जियो साचा साची बाणी शब्द मिलावा हो. Because that's what the master does. He puts in touch with you the ultimate truth and then gives you the path. Har Jiyo Sacha. He himself is the truth, and the only thing that can get to him is the truthful word. Any word that is revolving around some mythical stories and miracles is not going to get to it. That's the Sacha word, Sachi Bani. Shabd Milava Hoi. With the help of the word, you get on that journey. You get closer to that. आपे जग जीवन सुखदाता आपे बख्श मिलाए जी जंत ए क्या विचारे क्या को आख सुनाए गुरमुख आपे दे वड़ियाई आपे सेव कराए. See, now look at the beauty of the mystical messages. The first 3 lines are hammered on the consciousness. Do something. Why are you wasting the whole life? Go find the right master. Go find the right message and go do something. Now when you get that message and you get started on it, what is the first danger? What's the first stumbling block? I eventually found the right master. I eventually got the right word. I eventually found the time to do it. See how the doer immediately wakes up. I immediately gets up. And Gurbani immediately brings you back and says, wait, hold it. This message doesn't mean that you are the doer. If you really find the right master, it isn't you who found it.
Master finds you.
Master found you. He sent the master. Because only master can find you. You cannot find the master. You just can have the yearning. You just can have the will. You just can have a clean consciousness which attracts that energy. But you are not the doer. Immediately hammers at the root of the ego in the very next line and say, Ape jag jeevan sukhdata ape baksh milaye. He's the one who's sending it. Don't you ever let that little arrogance come from behind and say, yeah, I found it. Yeah, see, I took the time off. I could have gone to the party tonight. Yeah, I came here. See how great I am. The whole effort is lost. Whole activity is vacant. Whole activity wasted. Why? Because immediately, see, I had an invitation from Prime Minister of the United States and I said, no, it's my Friday. I'm going there. See, how great a sacrifice that is.
Question is, shouldn't it be the intention with which the comment is made? If someone is stating facts or someone is stroking one's ego. See, it depends on, isn't it, intention behind the statement?
What's the intention behind the statement?
It could be either way. It could be stroking one's ego. It could
tell
be
me what is the either way?
For example, 2 weeks ago, I had opportunity to go to several other places.
Yeah.
But I chose to come here because that was my choice.
Right.
I was just stating facts so people would know here.
Why? What is that has to do with people?
Sunina. I was stating facts. Why? Because then people, my friends from this group would know how serious I am to studying this.
Yeah. So what would that do?
Oh, just letting the facts know to the friends.
No, go beyond it now. Go to the next step. They know how serious are you, so they should acknowledge that. Yeah, Asha is very serious. Great.
No, they don't have to acknowledge.
So then
as
why
long
tell
as
her?
I know, they know it. That's very good.
Why tell her? What is the objective?
This is my spiritual family, so I would like to let them know what I'm thinking.
Then why declare it?
Don't we declare? Mother declares to child, child declares to mother. Even
That's
that
where the ego
relation
is.
thing.
That's where the ego is. That's exactly where the ego is. Declaration requires the declarer. Does it not?
Okay. If
Declaration requires the declarer. Does it not?
True.
Denouncer requires the denouncer. Does it not? Even when you are going to deny it, the I is required. When you are going to confirm it, I is required. So the question is, why use I?
I is the one who is doing it, so I has to.
So
come
should
in.
you be rewarded for that?
No, giving the knowledge. It was only mentioning facts. See, आपने मेरा सवाल नहीं सुना. If I were doing that to satisfy my ego,
You are. There's no if.
I just wanted spiritual family to get to know me.
Why?
Communication.
For what purpose?
You
Go
talk to
on.
your brother, you
Go
talk
on.
to your sister, communicating.
Why? You are not answering.
Bonding. Bonding.
But isn't the bondage supposed to be broken up rather than bond creation?
No. For a person like me, I require close friends and family. No.
Why not to create the friends over there rather than friends over here?
But
Why waste time and energy?
But physically, I cannot talk to there yet. I'm not there yet.
Why not?
I'm not there yet. I'm on my way.
You have always been there. The problem is that you insist on staying here.
Beautiful.
Your belief system is locking you into here. Who says you cannot live without these? Who says that? It's a belief. We spend 3 sessions strictly on belief systems so that we could get through our head. It is nothing more than a belief. People should know me. Why? He should know me. What purpose it will serve if they know me? Some will say good, some will say bad. There is not a body created on this planet which has not been praised and condemned. Not a single. Including those spiritual masters who spent since they were in the body form, they were praised and condemned simultaneously. That's the whole message. See the truth of it. See through what the relationships really are, not what they are pretending to be, not what they are declaring to be. See behind the words. I love you, I hate you, I want you, I need you, I care about you. See about all of those things. Is that love really a love? Is it? See through the truth of. Don't fall trap to the semantics of the words. That's why so much hammering on. Go to the complete master. Now you would have felt extremely satisfied if someone sitting over here would have said, Asha, you really are very, very dedicated. I'm so proud of you. You did so great. How many people can cancel all other appointments and still keep this? You really are great. You would have become a slave to that person. Because that's what the ego wants to hear. That's the purpose of sharing the information. So that all of them may not be on your face. Later on can say, Asha is really very committed. And then somewhere roundabout way, it will get to you also. That group really feels very good about you and say, yeah, that purpose is served now. It came right back to me. Watch the game of the ego. It is a hideous disease. It catches you when you are absolutely unaware. That's why a master is required, and says he's the one who's doing it, because you watch your doer, you are not. Gurmukh yape de vadayai yape seva karaye. He's the one who's getting you on that. And you're saying, no, I cancelled all of those things and I came. The message is exactly to the opposite. You could have not come if he didn't want you to come. He would break your leg, he will make your car not run, he will make you sick, or he will catch you and put on the plane to India and he say, I'm sorry, I can't make it. That never happened. I just couldn't get out of this commitment, what can I do? It's not our doing. It's not because of us. It's a miracle. It is in spite of us.
That also creates an excuse, right? You can say, he will make me do it whenever.
Yeah.
Right.
So they don't take the strength of the statement, they turn it around. That's another play of the ego.
That's the
other side of the ego.
See, I don't have to do anything.
I don't have to do anything, yeah. He just said it, so just sit quietly. Yeah. He will absolutely pick me up by the ear and walk me there on the path. We forget the law of freedom of choice.
Then can't you say that she made the freedom, she had a choice to come here also on that
day?
She made that choice.
She always had the choice of coming here. When she said, I couldn't make it, I couldn't get out of it. And when she said, I did cancel it, both were.
Well, she made the choice.
Yeah, both choices were hers. The choices got defended differently, but the choices were hers. But we have talked about this. It is a very slippery road. It's only one side of the transaction. It's only one side of the transaction. You pull the string from one side, the other string in somebody else's hand.
So then she
Karam the karna sade hath hai. Final result.
Okay, reaching here is in his hand, but okay, I got it.
See, we tie them together so quickly and then forget about it. That these are two things.
Yeah, got it.
Making a choice to come here is not just enough. It has to materialize. As they say, there are many slips between the cup and the lips. Right? Mm-hmm. To pick up the cup to sip something is just the choice. Whether you will eventually get to taste it or not is not your control. And we are not able to see through the truth of this statement. And we link those choices and the end result together as if they are so integrated that they are one. And they are not. Hey, I did, only then that would have happened. If I had not done it, that would not happen. There are a lot more who did exactly that but didn't get the same result.
It's confusing a little bit.
It is.
So didn't he make her to make the choice also then?
He gave the choices. No.
When he makes us to do everything.
He has made the choices, which is you can go, you may not go, you can start and change your route. All these are your own choices. Okay. Now, once you have picked the choice, In which shape it will end up.
End results in the
End result, you don't know.
You don't know.
Till it actually, that's what that movie was saying, that till you look at the ball which is bouncing, remember that shot?
Yeah.
Bunch of balls and till she turns around and focuses on the one, then it becomes a reality. Up till then, there are all possibilities. And any possibility. Once she materializes in this space, now she can look back and say, yeah, transaction started from there and culminated here. But when it started from there, there were bazillion detours and possibilities. Which she may or may not want. Something more desire may come. Okay. So that is why it is so important in Gurbani that it continuously hammers at the thought, because Gurbani knows the nature of the mind. It's keep on oscillating back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it keeps on tying it together. Again, reminder. 1430 pages, more than 2 million words written there. Same thing. Alternately, constantly alerting. Ape jag jeevan sukh datay ape baksh milaye जी जंत ए क्या विचारे क्या को आंख सुनाए. They are helpless. Vichare. They want to do something, they make an effort, and then something else turns out. Gurmukh ape devadai ape seva karai. The statements are 3 statements immediately right behind her saying, hey guy, what are you doing? Bhagathin kahe jagaya. Why don't you get up, do something? And then immediate reminder. This doing doesn't mean you are the doer. This means you should make a choice. Make a choice that gets closer you over there rather than drive you further away and away. Make a choice. You do have a choice, but you keep making the wrong choices. What are the wrong choices? There comes the next statement. Dekh kutamb moho lubhana chaldiyan naal na jai Sadgur sev gun nidhan paya tisdi keem na pai har prabh sakha meet prabh mera ante hoye sakhai. He says, look what choices you are making. Dekh kutamb, which is what you are talking about. Whether it is a physical family, social family, or this spiritual family, whatever. These are all families, and you are enticed by them. You are getting attached. This attachment just as much is an attachment as is an attachment to a little kid. Attachment is an attachment is an attachment. And then what happens? Moho lubhana. Moho means the attachment. Lobhana, lob. Greed. Knowing the fact, not without this awareness, knowing the fact, which one? Chaldiyan naal na jai. The attachments you're creating bondages, guess what? That bond is going to be broken so quickly that you wouldn't even feel it that it has been broken.
Fraction of a second.
That's it. From your side, you would be just wondering what's going on. And the few will go through the social drama. Some people will faint, some people won't eat, some people will cry, some people will sit quietly, some people will laugh, some people will say good riddance, all kinds of reactions. But you wouldn't know. Or you know, and it has been seen by you, observed by you, told to you, discussed by you gazillion times, yet you create that attachment.
आदत पड़ गई
पढ़ नहीं गई, पा नहीं गई. पढ़ गई मीन्स किसी का और का कसूर है, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी किसी और की है. पाई है, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी मेरी है.
okay
It's not semantics. It is the psyche. It always chooses the words which turns it around to somewhere else. अजी क्या करें, आदत ही ऐसी बन गई है. अरे बन गई है, नहीं अच्छी लगती तो बदल दो. अजी कैसे बदल दें, आदत के गुलाम हो गए. अरे क्यों गुलाम हो गए हो भाई, तोड़ दो गुलामी की जंजीरें, तुम्हारे पास फ्रीडम ऑफ चॉइस है. नहीं. Remember the term self-serving? Those are all self-serving statements. Nothing is out there that is not in here. Remember that dialogue? Nothing is out there that's not in here. अजी आप तो बड़े जालिम हैं, पत्थर दिल हैं, आप क्या बच्चे को उठाए नहीं क्या? I didn't say that. बच्चे को उठाया, उसकी परवरिश की, उसका किया, रख दिया. आप बच्चा अपनी दुनिया में, आप अपनी दुनिया में. बात करनी. वो तो थोड़ी देर का एक ड्रामा था, एक रोल प्लेइंग था. Just play your role. And when the role is over, director says cut. When the director says cut, don't just sit there. The role is over. But we don't do that. When the director says cut, we know when that permanent cut will come, all of these things, then what happens? Now there is no choice. Aji, wo to phir aap kya hai? Helpless. We are so much conditioned by those attachments. देखो मौत की बात ना किया करो, ये कुछ जरा जरा हंसी खेली बात, चलो गाने गाओ जरा, छोड़ इसको. देख कुटुंब मोहलु भाना, चलदे नाल ना जाई, सतगुर सेव गुण निधान पाया, तिसदी कीम ना पाई. हर प्रभ सखा मीत प्रभ मेरा, अंते होए सहाय. That which was not going to accompany you, you made the attachment. And that which was going to be helpful in the end, ante hoye sakai. You made no effort to get closer to that state. So, what should be the conclusion of all that? You say, अपने मन चित कहे कहाए, बिन गुर आप न जाई. Say, remember this. This aap, this I, will keep on coming back to you in different forms, and we have seen that demonstration right now. It's not going to go away till you solve that riddle and lean on the master, the Guru. Why? Harjiyo Data Bhakta Vashala. Because he has gone through all of this. And that creator, Harjiyo Data, that creator, has given that capacity and capability to the true Bhagat, true Guru. He has that, and he's the only one who can help you to see through this maze, through this fog of pseudo intellect which can create beautiful examples, yet be like that little cobweb the spider creates and then gets caught into it. See through that light, and if you can, the result can be Nanak Soba Suratve. Your surati, that your consciousness, your awareness, not your intellect, not the power to argue, not to add some more information, but this consciousness should rise higher. And how it will rise higher? What is holding the consciousness down? Imagine a helium balloon, and how do we keep the balloon down? Right? We take some threads and tie some weight. And if we want the balloon to fly, we take a scissor and start cutting the weights. So to your surti, to your consciousness, the weights are of what? The attachments, the greed, the desires, the anger. Those are your weights. And you have to cut them. If they are getting stronger or heavier, you can't fly. The consciousness will not rise. Nanak soba surt de prabh ape Gurmukh de vadayai. If you wish that and make that choice, then His blessing, His grace can let you go higher in consciousness. मेरे मन गुरमुख नाम दया गुरमुख त्याए हर सोए मेरे मन मेरे मन गुरमुख ध्याए हर सोए गुर का शब्द मन वसे मन तन निर्मल होए गुर का शब्द मन वसे मन तन निर्मल होए मेरे मन धन जननी जिन्ने जाया धन पिता प्रधान सतगुर सेव सुख पाया विचों गया गुमान दर सेवन संत जान खड़े पायन गुणी निधान दर सेवन संत जन खड़े पायन गुणी निधान मेरे मन गुरमुख मुँह त्याए हर सोए हर कृपा घरे आया आपे मिले आए गुर शब्दी सलाए रंगे सहज सच्चे साच समाया मिल रहे न बेछड़ जाए जो किछ करना सो कर रहा अवर न करना जाए चिरी में चुल्ले मेलियन सतगुर बनने पाए आपे कार कराए सी अवर न करना जाए मन रता रंग स्यो मन तन रता रंग स्यो भाव में तज बेकार एहन सहेर दे रव रहे निर्भाव नाम निरंकार नानक आप मिलायन पूरे शब्द अपार मेरे मन गुरमुख ध्याए हर सोए गुरमुख ध्याए हर सोए. So, you need to find and follow the real master, the real guru, the true guide. And finding that would be one of the biggest prasad, biggest grace from him. Because that is the first step, that's the starting point. If the starting point is not there, or which is happening more and more nowadays. I mean, you can see, if you need to go to San Francisco and take 5 north, and somebody puts you on to 5 south, the same speed that could have taken you closer to the destination can actually throw you twice back, which is what is happening in the world of spirituality as well. In the name of the religion, in the name of mysticism, in the name of spirituality, everybody is propagating their own ritualisms, set of values, set of rules, regulations, don'ts and the do's. And some of them are so detailed and so time-consuming that you get exasperated. And Gurmukh says, no, wait a minute, it's not that complex. You just have to find the right person, right master, the right guide. Master is the wrong term for it, it's the right guide. Guru literally means technique. Now, where that is then? So they're all here. They are on this planet. They are on this earth. This earth has never been without the true masters. Never. It has always had it. It's a question as to what the yearning inside. What is your own? What are you seeking? See, your outer words are not going to be sufficient. I'm seeking a true master, oh yeah. You sure about that? If you are not finding, then rather than looking out and say, why am I not coming across, why am I not finding, look inside you and say what the real purpose is. Is this a party talk? Is this to impress others? I'm looking for the real one. What do you accomplish? Because this earth, the earth is also called mother. The statement that is up there would be literally translated Dhan Janani Janajaya Dhan Pita Vardhan. Janani means the one who gives birth, mother. And normally this is translated that O Ma Vitanya, O Vitanya. Not to minimize that aspect, but the Gurbani is not talking of that mother at all. It's talking of that time and space, it's talking of the earth, where such a master manifests. That space becomes blessed, dhan. Where that master appears, that's where that blessing is. Now there is an opportunity for very many. Dhan Janani Janajaya, where such a soul manifests, that becomes blessed. Jithe jai bahe mera Sadguru. So Than Sohava. That isn't to put the thing on your head and start singing. That's not. Or put it in a bed and that becomes pure. No, that's not what it is. Where there is a manifestation of that soul, the ultimate soul, manifesting in a human body form on the earth, that space is blessed, dhan hai. And in that space, dhan pita paradhan, pita here is the Guru. That space is blessed, and that body, that Guru is blessed because there is a manifestation of that supreme energy. Now you can take advantage of that.
What are you meaning by when you say Guru here? That Guru. Space, time. I got that.
Tan, Pita. The Father is the Guru in the physical form. Because it is through him, in that space, उस माँ धरती माँ दे उत्ते ओ शरीर पिता आके बैठा है.
Are you talking about some physical body who is blessed?
Yes, exactly. The one who in which the manifestation is.
Where the manifestation.
Pradhan, the one who is now the higher than, which will now help others. How? Satguru Sev Sukhupaya Vichung Gaya Guma. He is the one who will now teach how to get rid of that ego. He will now identify the various faces of the ego. Humanity cannot be declared. Those who come and say, I am very humble, stay away from them. And Guru will point out that. Say, see, if you are humble, why do you need to declare it? Which was the conversation we were having here. If you are on the path, why declare it? Let it show. Let it come out. When you conscientiously arrive at that, people will look back, those, and say, you know, she used to miss all the parties and we wondered where she went. Now we know where she went. Don't declare it. Because declaration is the declaration of ego. Kill the root. Now. Otherwise it will sprout and it will become a tree and you wouldn't even know. You know, you remember that Punjabi saying that somebody sprouted a tree and he said, look at you, you say, well that's okay, I did it for my own shadow. मैं यहाँ पे शांत बैठा सीगा
He's already tree.
Watch it. Vichung gaya guman. That guru will help to get the ego out. Dar sevan sant jan khade bayan guni nida. Those who have that real urge, they would be lining up. Why? Because in that guru, guni nidhan. Nidhan means the khazana. Is the treasury of what? Guna. Kede guna? Those which help to get rid of those weights that is holding the consciousness down. So, if you have gotten to there, mere man, Gurmukh dhyaye har soye. What would Guru do? From his mukh, from his mouth, there's going to be only one statement. Dhyaye har soye. The pseudo-intellectuals and so-called saints will say, here's my process. Jot it down. Do this on a Saturday and do this on a Monday and do this on a day and don't do on Sunday. Sunday is bad, Saturday is good. And face north, face south, face. Bend so many times, sit up so many times. And they will have a list coming through your ear. And you know they are pseudo. The true master says you don't need anybody. Very simple process. Today you are in the habit of saying man, 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 man. First break that habit. Right? Isn't that what they told? As you repeat, you create that, disconnect those connections and create a new connection. The connection which says man, man, man. Now change it into two. Repeat it. Break that connection. Here is a scientifically proven fact. And also what बोलता रहता है ये क्या है? शर्म आती है क्या? दुनिया का क्या पागल हो गया ये क्या कर रहे हैं? अरे जब मेरे को चुप रह के कर लेने तो अंदर ही हो जाएगा. अच्छा ठीक है. Take as many shortcuts as you want. This is where we started from. It says, the real guru will say, Dhyaye har soye. Why? He says, Guru ka shabad manvasa. That word should become part of you. Break the other habit. Manvasa. It should become part of you. The other habit should be broken. This is the true pavitrata. This is the piety. Not going to the Ganges and looking, facing the sun, dip yourself along with the hair 7 times, stay under the water for so many minutes. God knows. They make it as they go along. Now, the purity of the mind and the body is when the man cuts off and the tutu starts. That's the real purity. Now here comes the amazing part again. But you are not the doer. But you are not the doer. Kar Kirpa ghare aaya. It is His grace that He rewarded the effort. The effort could have gone waste too. करने का इरादा तो किया है, उसका रिजल्ट क्या है वो तो तेरे हाथ में थी ही नहीं. तूने तो तू कहना ही शुरू किया है ना. वो तू तेरे सांस का हिस्सा बन जाए वो तो उसकी कृपा से हो गया. How can you do that? Because if you could do that, you would have done that in a single moment. Then why repeat so many times? If it was within your control, You didn't have to repeat it. You would have said, cut from here, connect over here. Right? But it has not. That means something is not within your control. Which is that? The end result. Hence, Kar Kirpa, Ghare Aaya. Ghar means in this body form. Ape Milya Aaya. He's the one who's going to come. You're not going to be able to go or call. तो जैसे किसी शायर ने कहा, हमसे आया ना गया, तुमसे बुलाया ना गया, फासला प्यार का दोनों से बिठाया नहीं। ये कुछ ऐसी बातें हैं, वो खुद ही आएगा, तुम नहीं कुछ भी कर पाओगे, ना उसको बुला पाओगे, ना उसके पास जा पाओगे। You just have to wait. And he may decide to come, he may decide not to come. As a matter of fact, he may go to the neighbor. दूध पियो गोविंद दे राय। वो शब्द जो है वो उस अवस्था से है। दूध पियो मेरो मन पते आए, ना ही तो घर को बाबरस आए। दूध कटोरे गड़वे पानी, कपल गाए नामे धोए आनी। What is that? That's दूध means पवित्रता, कपल गाय। अरे किसी शूद्र के घर कपल गाय हो सकती क्या? सोने की गड़वी रख के घर बैठा होगा जिसको खाने को रोटी नहीं मिलती रोज। वो सिंबल है। सिंबल क्या है? गड़वी, सोना। सोना इट मीन्स प्योर। गड़वी क्या है? बॉडी। दूध क्या है? विचार, थॉट प्रोसेस। तो उसमें सारा कुछ पवित्र। बॉडी मेरी तरफ से, भक्त कह रहा है, नाम दे, मेरी तरफ से तन भी वहां पहुंच गया, मन भी वहां पहुंच गया। एक भगत मेरे हृदय वश है, और कुछ बचा ही नहीं। बट हाउ डू आई नो कि ये भी मेरी अहंकार की बात नहीं है? हाउ डू आई नो? ये अंदर शैतान तो नहीं बैठ गया कहीं जो कह रहा है कि तू नाम दे, तेरा शरीर भी वैसा हो गया, तेरा मन भी वैसा हो गया, अब तू पहुंच गया। तो कहते नहीं, ये बात नहीं, तुम ही बताओ। यू हैव टू डिसाइड। अगर तू कह रहे नहीं है, ना ही तो घर को बाप रिसाए, जो ये अंदर आत्मा बैठी है, ये तो वैसे की वैसी बैठी रह जाएगी फिर। क्योंकि ये कहना कि मैंने कितना कर लिया, ये पवित्रता आ गई, ये भी तो गलती है, इसमें तो अहंकार है। See, that's what I was saying. To declare, you need the declare. मैं पवित्र हूं, मैं तो बच गया। मैं अपवित्र हूं, मैं तो बच गई। अपवित्र कहने के लिए भी तो हाँ चाहिए ना। जब डिक्लेयर करने वाला नहीं बचता, इट इज दैट स्टेट ऑफ बीइंग। मैंने इसलिए वो अरेबियन नाइट की कहानी सुनाई थी। रात के अंधेरे में एक दरवाजा खटखटाया। कौन है? तेरा महबूब। दुनिया में कोई किसी का महबूब नहीं होता, चला जा। दरवाजा नहीं खोला। थोड़ी देर बाद वक्त गुजर गया, फिर आया। फिर दरवाजा खटखटाया। कौन है? जिसकी तेरे को इंतजार है। मेरे को किसी की इंतजार नहीं है, भाग ले। आई तेरी तरफ से हो, मेरी तरफ से आई तो है। मैं तेरे से प्यार करने वाला नहीं, तू मेरे से प्यार करने वाली हो। कहते भाग जा यहां से, तेरे को प्यार करना आया ही नहीं। फिर साल 2 साल गुजर गए, फिर वापस आया। फिर दरवाजा खटखटाया। कौन है? जवाब ही नहीं देता, खामोशी है। फिर खटखटाया, दरवाजा खुला नहीं, अंदर से आवाज आ रही है, कौन है? वो दरवाजा खटखटाया जा रहा है। जिस तरह से भी कहेगा मैं बन जाएगी, उसकी खामोशी ही बता सकती है कि वो किसी जगह पे पहुंच गया। बस दरवाजा खटखटा रहा है, बाहर खड़ा है, थोड़ी देर बाद दरवाजा खुल गया, अंदर आया। These are not the intellectual concepts, it is a reality. This needs to be understood. जब तक ये अंदर ही नहीं जाएगी, इसको कमाना तो कहां रह जाएगा? फिर उसी के तरफ घूमते रहेंगे, बस दलीलें बनाते रहेंगे, नई नई आर्गुमेंट सोचते रहेंगे, मेमोरी में फंसे रहेंगे। वो मेमोरी ही तो मुसीबत है। हर जवाब मेमोरी तो देती है, इंटेलेक्ट और करता क्या? जस्ट आर्गूस एंड आर्गूस एंड आर्गूस। फ्रॉम वेयर all of that junk collected here in this 15 pounds of matter? Surrender. The desire to be I. One of the reasons the people were told to leave the world was to practice that. They didn't understand. Go into the jungle where you cannot relate with किसी, क्या बंदर को कहोगे कि मैं PhD हूं, उसको क्या फर्क पड़ता है? वो तो चिकचिकाएगा बस। किसी दरख्त को कहोगे कि मैं लीडर हूं, मैंने बच्चे बहुत खूबसूरत पाले हैं, क्या कहोगे? मैं बड़ी अच्छी मां हूं। गाय क्या कहेगी? बिकॉज आई एग्जिस्ट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू द अदर। जैसे अभी ये कह रहे हैं दूसरों को पता चल जाए, अरे क्या फर्क पड़ता है दूसरों को नहीं पता चलता तो? दूसरा तो यहां चाहिए ही नहीं, वही तो मुसीबत है। दूसरे से ही तो छुटकारा पाना है ऊपर के साथ रिश्ता जोड़ने के लिए, और हम उस रिश्ते को पक्का करते जाते हैं। बेटा आया, नो आई, बेटे आए, नो आई, बेटे आए, फिर आगे, फिर उसके चलता ही जाता है। Somebody was telling me there is a man who is fifth generation grandfather. I said, oh, good luck to him. He is very proud. पर पोतियों को खिला रहा है। Great achievement of life. ऐसी आत्मा माया के जाल से कभी निकल नहीं सकती। Impossible. Why? Because the basic understanding is not there. And that's what the Gurbani is hammering constantly. Gur ka shabad man vase, man tan nirmal hoye. Cleanse yourself of every other possible thought. When that happens, then कर किरपा घरे आया, आपे मिलिया आए, गुर शब्दी सालाये, रंगे सै सुभाए, सच्चे सच समाया, मिल रहे ना विछड़ जाए. Now you are at a state where this is the permanent meeting. All the meetings here are always followed by a separation. Right? हर मिलना बिछड़ने के साथ हो रहा है. If you want to experiment, किसी से मिलकर उसको गले में लेकर और 5 मिनट के लिए छोड़ो नहीं उसको.
Suffocation.
No suffocation. Lovingly hold them. See what happens. That love, that warmth will start getting cold in about 3 minutes at the most. Even if that. खुद को ही अगर किसी ने पकड़ा है तो उसको भी अच्छा बहुत हो गया.
30 seconds.
अरे इतने सालों के बाद मिले हैं, जरा रुको जाओ. छोटे से बच्चे को लेके देखना, वो कहते हैं माँ लीव मी अलोन. खास करके बुजुर्गों के साथ ही होता है, वो बच्चे को पकड़ के बैठ जाती है, उसको छोड़ देने के बच्चा तिल बनाने लगता है. Because the meeting is enjoyable only when there was a separation, when there was a distance. If there is no distance, meeting loses significance. There is only one meeting known to the consciousness, which doesn't need to be separation, and that's within. And Gurbani is pointing out toward that and say, there is a meeting in which there is no separation. Listen to the master, listen to the guru, follow on the steps, get to that word, get to that shabad. Jo kuch karna, so karreya, avar na karna jaye, chiri vichunne melian, satgur panne paaye, appe kar karaye si, avar na karna jaye. This is within the control of that master, that guru, pradhan, that pita pradhan, that chiri vichunne. How many lifetimes you have been separated from that entity, it will get you back there. And it will be a permanent meeting. His grace is through the guru. So, Manatan Ratta Rangasyo Haume Taj Vikar. Here is again the same reminder. Vikar means the most hideous habit, which is the reminder of the I, the existence of I, Karta, the doer. Leave that and do what instead? Manatan Ratta Rangasyo. Get into his type of frame of mind. Rang Dinal Ratya Jana. I have shared that parable with you about Hanuman, that he basically said. You remember that story?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sita Ma. See, she was standing in front of the mirror and putting sandhu. And Hanuman happened to watch and said, why this? And he said, couldn't find a reason, how to explain. Most of the women don't know what it is. Mere suhag di nishani means what? How can this be suhag? Suhag. वो बेचारा काला तूत है. ये निशानी रंग लाल मोती का रंग की निशानी दिख रहा है संदूर. उन्हें ना कभी छुआ ना देखा ना जाना ना. How to explain it? It's a ritual. So she said, ये तेरे राम को अच्छा लगता है. He ran and went to the hill in which this was, the sandhur was actually being mined, and he jumped into the mine. Filled the whole body with sandhur. That's why if you go to the Hindu temples of Hanuman, it's all in sandhur. So he came back and he's laughing. And she's laughing at him and said, what are you crazy? What you did? So, I don't understand. इस रंग से अगर राम खुश होता है तो इतना चुटकी भर क्यों फिर इसकी कंजूसी क्यों करनी? Why you are so miserly? जिस रंग से मेरा राम खुश हो जाता है वो रंग तो मेरे अंदर मेरे बाहर सिलसिला के पांव तक सब जगह होना चाहिए. Now, that's the understanding. That's the urge. That's what it's talking about. Manata Ratta.
Is there any significance to that, or it just became as a tradition?
No, it just became no significance. It just so shows the frame of mind of a bhagat. See, Hanuman was not a bandar. We made it into a bandar. The term was ba-nar. बन विच रहन वाले नर राम दी मदद कीती बानरां दी सेना ने मीन्स व्हाट जिन्हों असीं जंगली कहने तो वो बानर तो बांदर बन गया पंजाबी तो बहुत बहुत
But he doesn't have a tail either.
absolutely then we created a whole new just as we created the Ganesh, right? Now how did Ganesh become a god? The story is that Parvati was bathing and she created Ganesh out of her spiritual power and put him as a guard while she's bathing. And Shivji comes in. Now he's the husband. So he wants to go in and he's saying, no, my mother is bathing. I have the order from my mother not to let anybody go. So he says, well, she's my wife. I don't know where the son come from. So they both end up fighting. So he sent the Trishul, and naturally they had to show that their mother had given him a little rod, and rod could not stand in front of Trishul. It bowed before the Trishul. Trishul went and chopped the head off. And Shivji went in. You know, Parvati finds out, she comes on and says, you killed my son. He says, well, I didn't know that you created him out of your powers. He said, well, now you have to do something about it. He said, well, okay. Since you are in so much, this out of mamta, that was out of your mamta that you created this. So he sends his Trishul to scour the world and find a mother who's sleeping with the back toward the child. Because she is in attachment, so there has to be a mother who's in denial. And it so happens that the elephants cannot sleep face to face. So finds a Hathani who's sleeping with the back to the child. He chops the head, brings it down, he puts the head on, and that's how Ganesh is born. That's the mythological story behind his birth. Now how did he become a god? I have no clue. This is the story behind it. So we just created these things, but my purpose was to share with you, it shows the frame of mind of a Bhagat. Hanuman is a Bhagat. Sita is not. And Bhagat is willing to do anything and everything to get to that state. उसकी कृपा हो जाए, किसी तरीके ना वो मैंने परवान कर लाए, उसकी नजर दा पात्र बन जाए. And that's what he's talking about here. मन तन रत्ता रंग स्यों हौमे तज वेकार. You are so much like him that the eyes completely disappear. Ahnis hirde ravaraye. Ahnis. Ah means day, nis means night. Day and night. Hirde ravaraye. That word is resounding. His naam is resounding. Which one? Nirbhav naam narinkar. Nanak aap milayen pure shabd apar. With that, the help of that word, the ego comes down to the ground level. And with his grace, you get to the state for which this body was given to you. That's why Bhai Re Bhagatheen Kahe Jagaya. That's why that question was that we started with from. So we have concluded the 49th hymn. So when we meet next time, we will carry on. the 50th, and I would appreciate all of you taking time out. It's a long weekend, I understand that. You still made it. So, thank you all, and we're open for any discussion.
इसका मतलब तुसी यही समझाया हैगा कि ज्ञान जड़ा परेशान कर रहा है भक्ति नाल ही जा सकता है तो ही विराग आएगा।
Yeah. वो जड़ा ज्ञान उन्होंने सी वो टर्म ज्ञान जड़ा है ना वो एक्चुअली मिसलेबल्ड है. It's not ज्ञान, it's information, it's intellect.
मैं समझदा हैगा इस करके मैं
सो उस ਨੂੰ ਗਿਆਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਮਝਣਾ ਕੋ ਨੋਇਜ਼ ਲੈਵਲ ਹੈ. ਉਸ ਨੋਇਜ਼ ਲੈਵਲ ਨੂੰ ਦਬਾ ਕੇ ਖਤਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜਦੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਨੋਇਜ਼ ਲੈਵਲ ਇਰਰੈਲੇਵੈਂਟ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਜਾਵੇ. ਜਿੰਨਾ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕੋਲ ਹੈ ਇਸੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੋਗੇ ਕਿ ਭਗਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ. ਚੁੱਪ ਹੀ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ. ਦੁਨੀਆ ਲਾਗੇ ਕਰਦੀ ਰਹੇਗੀ. ਸੁਣਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ.
आपने वो क्या पूछा था?
मैंने ये कहा कि हमारे अंदर ही ज्ञान भी है वैराग भी है और ज्ञान परेशान करता कि आपको हमेशा लव अफेक्शन जो भी आपके साथ में लाइफ में वो सब उससे है उसका पलड़ा बहा रहा है और वैराग नीचे है. वैराग को ऊपर उठाने के लिए आपको भक्ति के थ्रू ही जाना पड़ेगा. जब तक भक्ति नहीं जगाइएगा वैराग नहीं आएगा और जब वैराग आएगा तो सब कुछ छूट जाएगा आपसे. आपके नीरस जितने भी हैं सब छूट जाएंगे. लेकिन समाज में प्रॉब्लम ये आ जाती है कि जब आप ऐसे रास्ते पे आप चलना शुरू करेंगे तो दिल से तो पागल है.
अरे ऑलरेडी सुन रही हूँ मैं तो 2-3 साल 4 साल से ऑलरेडी acquaintances disappear होते चले जाते हैं. And some people without even talking and all they would say अरे भाई हमें वो spiritual ये वो सब इससे कोई मतलब नहीं है. वो टॉपिक निकला भी नहीं है but they can just sense it. It is fascinating to see that. हमें इसमें कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं है. हमें कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं है. मैंने कहा ठीक है.
लेकिन प्रॉब्लम तो ये है कि जब आप जाइएगा वहाँ पे देखिए इनमें से कोई आपका साथ देने वाला नहीं है.
बिल्कुल सही कहा.
और उसमें आपको आचरण रखना पड़ेगा, उच्चारण भी सही रखना पड़ेगा और मनन भी करना पड़ेगा. You're welcome. अच्छा जी मैंने दाद दियो. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming.
ये आपने एक चीज़ रेफर की कि बार बार जन्म लेने की बात से कही. Now that also I've heard related to जो कर्म है. रेफरेंसेस हमें कर्म इकट्ठे होते जाते हैं. Is that also related to Daya Meher? That's also related to bhakti. के bhakti आप करोगे, but at some point when you overcome those things जो कर्म किए हैं, then you have
No, see, bhakti, the meditation, is not related to a karma. It's not doing. If it is a doing, then it becomes a ritual. Number one. Number two, you can never exhaust a karma by just paying for it or being rewarded for it. That cycle can never end. Karma cycle cannot end by action and reaction because every action has a reaction, right? So, how would you know where the action and reaction has paired and finished? It is a contiguous links of a chain. They will never end. The only way to end that, get out of that cycle is get to the non-doing. And bhakti is the non-doing. slowly, 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 the doer has to die. So if the doer is still there, then that's not a bhakti. Then that's ritual. That's why it's understanding right up front is so important. Yes, I'm asking you to do something with the idea to lead you to the non-doing. Yes, I am using the word with the idea to get you the non-verbal. If you do not remember the non-verbal state that you want to get to and keep on using the words, you have fallen into the ritualism back. So bhakti is not accumulation of karma. Because if it is, it becomes a ritual.
I think मेरी confusion थी कि कर्म जो इकट्ठे हो गए हैं, whatever action, reaction किए through all your previous life and this life, they are there, right? They are not going away. You have to do something to make them go away. Is that important? And do they go away with bhakti?
Yeah. That's the only way they go away. Otherwise, they will keep on self-perpetuating.
So it's not enough to stop doing, because
No.
you still have those things accumulated, right?
You have to get into the bhakti.
So to get rid of those, in addition to not doing any new ones,
You still have, the bhakti is the only thing. Whatever that is accumulated here,
right?
you stop worrying about that
Okay.
and start on the bhakti. Don't worry about the karma. Worry about the doer. When the doer is finished, this becomes meaningless. Because they are only there because the doer is here. You know this side will always multiply. है ना? किसी का फायदा किया वो चाहता है तेरा भी फायदा करे.
Exactly.
किसी का बुरा किया वो तेरे चाहता है तेरे को नुकसान पहुंचाए. वो तो चलता ही रहेगा फिर. You can never get out of the cycle of karma if it is a give and take, give and take, give and take. The only way you can end it, don't look out from this side. Look from the doer side. तो इमेजिन कि ये सारा पैकेज बना के जितने भी मेरे अभी तक के कर्म हैं उनका एक पैकेज बना के मैंने यहां रख दिया है और मैं इनको छूने वाला नहीं हूं. क्यों? मैंने अब टाइम लगा रहा हूं, मैं भक्ति करूंगा. और भक्ति का एम क्या है? डूबर ने मरना है, वो आई ने मरना है. जिस दिन ये आई मर गई ये खड़े रहे.
But then again, bhakti, though you're not doing 24 hours. It's not possible, at least initially. So you are still collecting some karmas during your day-to-day living.
वो तो बदलनी शुरू हो जाती है ना. You just keep on adding all of that into there.
Okay. So that's okay. I mean,
Just keep on adding that pile over there. Yeah.
Okay, grihasti mein raho. I mean, you're not stopping what you're doing in your life. So you're still accumulating those. But that's still...
The quality of those karma will keep on changing.
Okay.
As you get deeper and deeper into the process, you will become more and more alert.
So you're picking between karma ki this has
Yeah.
better value than...
More and more we will do without looking for the result. Whatever we do, without looking is it good or bad, right or wrong. Then
Or you're making slightly better decisions.
Good.
You're making decisions that taking you towards same
Right.
away from it.
Hmm. Every decision will remind you, I'm not the doer. I'm not going to worry about this result. I did my best. Now, up to him, the rest. That's it. And you start coming at peace. When you start becoming at peace, negative karma accumulation stops. It's very logical, very scientific.